What's up, everybody? It's Cass. One more week in Minnesota, then I'm off to San Diego. So I am going to go over something to clarify one of the drills that I have up on my YouTube channel. I think I call it wall drill. So essentially, I'm like, why doesn't this have more views? And it occurred to me that wall drill doesn't really tell the story. So this is going to be about leading with your hip. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how I misinterpreted it, how I see a lot of players misinterpreting it, and then how we actually do it correctly. So when I went into college, the first thing I heard was you have to lead with your hip, or that was one of the primary things that I was trying to accomplish as a freshman in college. So when I would do it, I would be very vertical in my lift, and I would sit back hard. Okay, this gave me a sense of power because my back leg was flexing, I was using it, but there wasn't a forward linear move, and that just hurts what's happening out when I'm actually throwing it, right, when I get to front foot strike. But, but the thing is that negatively affects what goes on out here. So what's so critical is how we get in and out of our leg kick. Okay, so the first thing is understanding that good throwers are creating forward movement as they peak their leg kick. So as they get to the top, they're gonna start shifting inside their back foot. Okay, a lot of youth pitchers who are taught to balance point will get stuck and they'll start moving, but everything goes down. So they're just sitting and not actually creating forward momentum. So the best throwers, as they're peaking their leg kick, they're shifting inside their back foot, okay? So what I do is I show players how to feel this on the wall. Okay, this is very similar to the Hershiser drill, Tom House, the National Pitching Association, but I like to just break it down a little bit further and recognize, okay, what is that first little inch that I'm moving, okay? So maybe a kid is gonna feel taller in that position. Maybe they start sitting. I'm okay with some flexibility there, but I'm going to take that out now. So what you're doing at the peak of the leg kick, great, but now how are you maintaining those positions? How are you getting farther into the stride, and how are you sitting into your back leg? Okay, so from the side, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for sideways movement, okay, forward movement into the leg kick, and then I'm looking behind them to see how they station their back leg. So I'm going to move the camera. And just show you where I see balance in the throw. So I made the comment that a lot of players, when they pitch, a lot of youth pitchers will be sitting over the back foot. They're never shifting inside their back leg to load the back hip. So from behind, I view balance not as this, but as this. So as I'm moving down the mound, can I stay centered in my back foot? Am I creating flexion that is equal? Do I have too much knee bend, not enough hip bend? This is really common for young players don't know how to load their back hip, okay? Is it too locked out? Do I just see kids leading with the hip and not having any flexion in the knee, right? We should see these compressing at the same time. So as I'm taking them out and I'm teaching them to lead with their hip, or I always say their front butt cheek, so I say the only thing on the wall should be the left butt cheek. Now I'm challenging them to take it farther and visualize where they are. Because obviously my leg is coming out from under me, but I can't do that when the wall's in my way, so I'm getting to a certain point where I don't get anything else out of this drill because I would have to open up and my left leg would have to come out from under me. So this trains that first half of the stride of how to keep the left hip in front without it being too exaggerated, because I actually need to move somewhere. So I can't be sitting back too much if I'm not really good at moving down the mound. Are there throwers that lean back a lot? Yes, but I challenge you to look at how far they move down the mound when they're doing that. A lot of youth athletes do not move down the mound very well. And the best aren't sitting back here. They're typically right on top. The head is right on top of the back hip. So you'll typically see some angle that looks like this. So I use we're lucky to have padding in here, but I use some sort of wall. If I don't have a cushion, I can just use my lead hand to assist me of just how to lead with the hip and then take that farther. Essentially, what am I doing in the first half of my stride? What happens after that? Now we are focusing those things on, we're focusing on that time, that second half of the stride in drills like rocker throws or rocker throws with a stride. So hopefully that's helpful. You're going to be watching this on my YouTube channel. It's always under playlists. You can also follow me on Instagram at CKSodaBaseball. And that's it. I do have an Instagram at CKSoda, or excuse me, a Twitter, but I'm not quite as, you won't see me on Twitter as much as you will on Instagram. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you got something to take away from today.